on today's Into Your Head podcast number 716, Travelatory Incontinence, and lots more. Two dogs walk into a bar. One of the dogs goes straight up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, can I have a pint of your finest Guinness, please?" And the man behind the bar says, "You're a dog. I know a dog when I see one, and I see you, and I know you, and you're a dog. I don't even know you, and I already know you when I see you that you're a dog. I told you I know a dog when I see one, even if I don't know the dog. I know a dog when I see," which, when you think about it, shouldn't really work. That shouldn't be the case. If I know a dog when I see one, but I don't know you and you're the dog, I know you're. That doesn't make sense at all. It does in a way, but in another way it doesn't. It's an anachronism, or what do you call it? It's like a bug in the language system. If this language was being made by Apple, I can tell you, they'd have Steve Jobs dug up and spun around in his grave and then buried again. Or else they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't. That's just a metaphor. It wouldn't really go as digging Steve Jobs up. No. However, you can't go around digging people up just because their company they used to be involved in has some issues, much as people would like to. People would love to do that. They'd say, there's a problem with iOS 7 on my iTelephone. Let's go and get Steve Jobs dug up. Not to give out to him. No. To bring him back and inject some Steve Jobs fuel back into the company. There's nothing against him. No, don't worry. I'm not proposing that we dig him up to punish him in any way or do anything mean to him. So it isn't out of any ill feeling towards the man. Quite the opposite. When you go and dig someone up and bring them back to life, that's not an attack on them in any way, shape or form. Apple is connected to, if I remember rightly, Steve Jobs in some way was linked to Disney, and your man from Disney, he got cryogenically frozen, so he's not even dead yet. They froze him. Well, they waited till he was dead, but they froze him. They put ice around him, they encased him in ice. If you encase someone in ice, they're pretty much frozen inside as well. It's like you might as well just inject ice into their bloodstream if you're going to encase them in ice. Don't be fooled. Just because the ice is on the outside of the person, that doesn't mean the person isn't frozen. You're not going to dig through the ice and find a warm body inside it. No. Well, you will if you melt the ice. It'll probably heat it up pretty quickly. But you don't want to do that until you've found a cure for whatever caused their death, and also a cure for death, a way of reversing death, a way of getting death and saying, "Go away, death, we're going to undo you." We're going to press the undo button, the Control-Alt-Delete button on death, and then go cancel this death, undo it, bring the person back, bring them back, and we'll pump them full of whatever the opposite of ice is, probably warm water. I don't know. As you pump them, you probably want to put some blood in it, or blood won't work very well, I assume. I'm not a biologist, but I assume blood doesn't work very well if it's been sitting in a frozen body for 40 years or however long he's dead. How long is Walt Disney dead? I don't know. Probably a few decades at least. Anyway, he's been gone some time now. It's been a while. It's been a while since we saw him walking around in the full flow of his health, I can tell you. No. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. Now, if I remember rightly, that was supposed to be a two dogs walk into a bar story. Don't worry, plenty of time left to complete it. I don't have to, just because it was 4 minutes into the show while I haven't finished the dog story yet, doesn't mean I'm not going to. I'll get to it. Don't you worry your pretty little heads about it. I'll get to it. You don't have to have everything in the first 4 minutes. This isn't like an overture of a concerto where it has to be a microcosm of every theme bit of music through the whole show. No, although I suppose I could do that. Or what would be the point of that? I don't know. Just to be arty, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with being arty. This is an art after all, sitting here speaking of a Saturday. Incidentally, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's several hours since I had any coffee. This is a unique version of the program here. I'm not caffeinated, and not only that, it's later than 11 o'clock in the morning when I'm starting this. Absolutely fucking this is well, not completely unprecedented. There was a time when a lot of this would be done in the afternoon, but there was also a time when a lot of this was crap, even more so than it is today. This is an example of what it used to be like before I used to get hyped up on caffeine before I did the that's the preparation that goes into this. You get hyped up on caffeine, you get a big bag of coffee beans, you put them through a machine. I have a fancy coffee machine now. I load it up with coffee beans and water, and I press the button and I say, please make some coffee for me, machine. And then I press the button. It's more of the instruction thing. It's not a voice recognition machine, but it adds a bit of flourish and style and artistic to the occasion. Nothing wrong with having adding a bit of flourish to your coffee making. Nothing wrong with it at all. Gets you set up for the day. You pretend you can go, because 10 or 20 years from now we will be talking to our coffee machines like that, and they'll be answering. They'll be saying, certainly, sir. And then you'll be saying, these machines have been around for 20 years now. Why aren't you just automatically making the coffee when I come into the room in the morning, rather than waiting for me to say something to you? And the machine will say, you can do that. You have a timer on me. Just set the timer, or tell me to set the timer. Say, coffee machine stroke Siri, please set the timer. Just make sure you say it to me in a clear voice or I won't understand it. And now I realise that's a problem with you, because your voice and your speech doesn't work at all properly till you've had your coffee. That's why it's going to be a problem for you. That's why I've still got buttons on me, so you can do it manually. It's not really manually at all. You're pressing a button. It's not like you're even turning a lever. There's no energy going into that at all. You're pressing an electrically powered button, and I'm doing the rest, me the machine. So it's nothing. You can't call that manual. No. In order for it to be in any way manual, you'd have to be turning some levers, maybe winding up a spring or something like on the old mechanical clocks, and not having any electricity involved in this whatsoever. So don't give me any crap about you making your coffee manually through this €500 machine, which admittedly you got at a substantial discount during the Christmas sales, but nonetheless no. And of course I'll say to that, you're my coffee machine. You're getting a bit too big for your boots now. Going to move you into the dining room. I think I gave you a bit of a swelled head when I gave you pride of place in the corner of the sitting room. I'm going to move you back out into the dining room, where we barely spend any time at all, although you'll still be near enough for me to use in passing. I know you'll just be a thing I pass, just like the coat hanger in the hall, or the everything that's on the stairs. You just walk past it, stop and use it for a minute, and walk on. Though you don't need to be seen from the frigging sofa. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Putting a coffee machine and pride of place in this. Although I must say I enjoyed the novelty while I was. Hold on a minute. I'm very sorry for that interruption. I shouldn't interrupt you at all, because I edited it seamlessly out. I had a phone call from my mother. Excuse me for allowing my elderly mother to ring me and taking a break from the podcast to facilitate it. There's more important things in this crap, There's more important things than this crap. Although, to be perfectly honest, I can't think of very many. What could be more important than something of which you've done 715 and a half episodes episodes over 7 years has been, this has been part of my life now for a sixth of my life, or a seventh. Is it a seventh? I don't know. How many times does 7 go into 37? Not an even number of times, I can tell you that much. So let's leave it at that. Let's not get bogged down in some impossible long division, or is it short division? I don't know. If you're dividing a 2-digit number by a single-digit number, is that long division or short division, or is it somewhere in between? Who gives a fuck? We're not going to get bogged down in matters of language about matters of arithmetic, which are impossible arithmetic, because you can't divide a number by something that doesn't go into it a fair number of times. Oh no, it doesn't work like that. You have to have a full number. If you want to divide 37 by something, you make damn sure the hell is Christ first that the number that you're dividing it by goes into 37 and equal a strict number of times, not 5.5 times or 6 times. It needs to be 6 times or 7 times or 5 times, and the only way to find that out is by doing the arithmetic itself. And I'm damn well sure as hell no Christ not going to perform a piece of arithmetic just to find out whether or not the arithmetic can be done. That's just being stupid. Well, it's not being stupid, it's being rather intelligent if you can do it. Well, I'm not going to find out whether I can or can't do it, because if I find out that I can't, then that'll be another blow to my confidence, which I don't need when I'm trying to do something creative without coffee of a Saturday afternoon. No, can't be having that crap. I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, why doesn't he just drink some coffee? Because it's 4:20 in the afternoon. That's why. It can't be gulping down coffee in the afternoon. It's bad enough that I have 8 coffees normally before I do this in the morning. If I was to do that in the afternoon, I'd be up all week. With insomnia. And insomnia, incidentally, is the name of a coffee chain over here. There's a fella set up a coffee chain called Insomnia, and he thinks he's great because he thinks he's great. He thinks, look at me, it's a coffee company and I call it Insomnia because you drink coffee if you want to get insomnia. Apparently that's considered a good market. That the young people fell for it in the 90s or whenever he started up. We had the Celtic Tiger and everyone thought, oh look, it's the Celtic Tiger economy, we've plenty of potatoes and money now, let's go throw away all our extra wealth on coffee, fancy coffee. Oh no, must be some happy medium. My happy medium, I can tell you, is making proper coffee at home, not from some place that doesn't even have a branch here. I'd have to go up to Dublin. I'd have to spend 2 hours on a bus going up to Dublin and then find where their nearest Insomnia is. I think there's probably one near the bus station. I'm not sure. Couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Then I'd get my coffee, get back on the bus, and by the time I get home it'd be cold. It'd be 2 hours on the bus, and then I have to walk up from the bus stop to here, which is about 15 minutes walk, just to get a frigging so-called fancy coffee. No, I suppose I could drink it up there while I'm up in Dublin, but where would be the point is that you come back with nothing, just like your man in the original Willy Wonka movie. He said, you leave, sir, you leave with nothing. You have to drink your coffee here and get the fuck out of here. Where's the point of that? Oh no. Absolutely not. It's just like that thing. What's that thing? There's some comedian tells a joke about there being a Starbucks that has a Starbucks in the corner of it in the bathroom or something, and he thinks it's hilarious. He goes, look, there's a Starbucks and it's got a Starbucks in it for people who want to stop and have a Starbucks on the way. Isn't it absolutely hilarious? That's what comedians do. It's all coffee and aeroplanes. They say, look, I was on an airplane today, just like every other fucking comedian in America. Comedians in America spend their entire working week flying around the country. They say, I'm going to do a show now at the other side of the country, because technically it's in the same country, even though it's at the other side of a continent. I'm going to have Travelatory Incontinence by travelling across the... That's a little pun for you. That's a little pun. For those of you who like Twitter puns, there's a Twitter pun. It's not a pun about Twitter, it's a Twitter style royal pun. Anyway, hello, and on with the show. Sorry for the interruption there. I'm not one bit sorry. In fact, I'm less than sorry, because it saved me having to phone my mother later. I was about to get around to it, and she rang me instead. I picked up the phone and said, hello, who is this? And she said, who the fuck do you think it is? I said, I don't know, I wouldn't like to guess in case that would offend you in some way, but apparently it's okay for you to swear at me in my imagined conversations with you. That's not the real conversation. If that was the real conversation, I would not be relating it to you here. I'd make up a fake conversation that had no swearing in it. The fact that it has swearing in it should be a clue to you that I'm making it up. Anyway.
You are listening to Into Your Head, all the way from Ireland.
Need more? Subscribe to the free reruns and extras feed and shut your stupid ugly face. See intoyourhead.com/archive for details.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email studio@intoyourhead.com.
Follow Neal at twitter.com/intoyourheadpod and pretend to like him at facebook.com/intoyourheadpodcast.
Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats and stuff.
Are you a cat? Or do you know somebody who might be? Then tell yourself about Matchstick Cats, Neal's webcomic. Brand new episodes at intoyourhead.com.
Two aforementioned dogs walk into a bar. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking they already walked into a bar earlier. They did indeed. They're not walking into a bar again. This is a retelling of the beginning of that story. Two dogs walk into a bar at an unstated time in history. So it could be any time. Could be now, or it could be 10 minutes ago when I first tried to recount this tale and got a bit distracted. Anyway, they walk into the bar, and one of the dogs goes straight up to the bar counter and says, hello, I'm a dog. Now, this is a slight change to the original storyline, if I remember rightly. That's to avoid repetition, and it's also because there's no script here, so I'm not hardly likely to... you don't get hit by the same stroke of lightning twice in one go, no matter how many times you walk into the same bar, so things are going to happen differently, even if it's a retelling of the same incident. The dog goes up to the bar and says, hello, can I have a pint of your finest Guinness, please? Oh no, he says, hello, I'm a dog. Then he says, hello, can you see? Half a minute after the original retelling, I've already changed it. That's how people think we're all used to linear time here, but time is as movable a feast as a McDonald's drive-through that's got not a McDonald's drive. A portable McDonald's drive-through. Will that work? I don't know. What do they bring around on a train carriage? They set up a train carriage somewhere, preferably on a level crossing, and there's an arch underneath it, halfway up the train carriage. So they line up the middle of the train carriage with where the road crosses the railway line, and the cars can walk through a little arch under the carriage there, and you have the drive-through there. There you go. I've just invented the first ever drive-through, not to be confused with those trains that go through the Channel Tunnel from England to France that you drive onto. No. In this case, you'd be driving across under the train, not up onto ramps into the train. Completely different kettle of fish. It would be highly impractical for people to drive up onto the train just to spend 2 minutes there ordering a cheap takeaway meal. Although maybe at some point in the future things will change. But no, let's be practical. The train stops preferably on a Sunday on a quiet train line that doesn't have very many services, so there's no disruption. They just set up there You have the carriage parked across the level crossing. The cars can drive under the train, and especially installed arch in the middle of one of the carriages. Either side of the arch, there's a window, and from there on, it's a bog standard drive-through. Bog standard drive-through, the same as way as a stationary drive-through. In fact, it is stationary while it's in operation. It's not going to be moving while cars are driving under it. That would be highly dangerous and probably wouldn't be allowed. Anyway, where was? Oh yes, the dog goes up to the barman, says, "Pint of your finest Guinness, please." And the man behind the bar says, I know, you already ordered, it's on the way." And the dog says, "Oh, that's very good. This is very efficient. I must say I'm highly impressed at your hospitality." Although it's not really hospitality. Yes, hospitality would be where you have a chat with me while you're doing my Guinness up, and you say, "Oh, how are you? Are you here for a bit of fishing, or are you just here for the night, or are you here for a comedy show, or what?" No. Just doing up the pint efficiently is not in itself hospitality, although it's an important part of it, to provide an efficient service. But no, there's more to visiting a public house than just having a frigging fast pint processing. It's not a factory. No offence. And the barman says, None taken. You've a great understanding of this industry, I must say. Well done. No, I don't mean to be inhospitable at all. Just not in the mood today, because I had a fella came in here with a gun earlier, held me up at gunpoint and tried to steal the contents of the till. So excuse me if I'm not in the mood to be very chatty. And the dog says, "You say he's tried to take the contents of your till. I take it from that he didn't succeed. So surely you should be in a good mood now." And the barman says, "No, call me old-fashioned, but when someone comes into my workplace and points guns at me, kind of brings down the level of the day for me. Maybe I'm a bit weird like that." And the dog says, "I suppose maybe you are. Or maybe it's that I'm a dog and I don't have as much understanding of this as your average human would," which I think would be understandable. The barman says, "I'm sorry, did you say something?" I'm a bit distracted at the moment. And the dog says, "Don't worry about it." The barman says, "How the fuck can I worry about it if I don't even know what you said?" And the dog says, Exactly. We all win. We're all winners here, even though you may not feel like a winner at the moment. You look back at this at some point in the future and you'll laugh." And the barman says, "Oh, I will I? I'll look back and laugh at the time when a man came in and held me up at gunpoint." And the dog says, "Well, when you put it that way, sounds a bit unlikely, I know. It's called being positive and optimistic. It's a thing I learned from a man called Brian Jude." And the man behind the bar says, "Who in the name of Christ is Brian Jude?" And the dog says, "Oh, nobody you'd know. He's a fellow podcaster and other things. He's into all this positivity stuff. You see him on Twitter all the time being all positive." And the man behind the bar says, "He's not a cat then, is he?" And the dog says, "I don't know what that means. I'm not a freaking animal psychologist. Just because I'm an animal doesn't mean I'm an animal psychologist." And the man behind the bar says, "Would that not be a sociologist?" And the dog says, "No, I don't think so. I think that's a different thing, isn't it? Although I'm not sure. I'm open to correction." And the man behind the bar says, "Oh, good. It's great to know that you're a dog and you're open for correction. You're not set in your ways. That's good. That's good to know. That's great." And the dog says, "I think I'll take my pint over to this table. Thank you very much. Here's somebody." And the man says, "Thank you very much, sir. And a great night is had by all except the barman." Monkey nuts, that's what they call them. They call them big steaming, shit-eating, piss-piling, harmonica-playing, vitamin, unopened cod liver oil bottle from Lidl. What else do they call? Oh, pretty much anything, as I think I've just made clear. They call them pretty much anything that comes to mind. You can call monkey nuts anything. You can call them anything, because nobody knows what a monkey nut is anyway. We spent about a year on this show a couple of years ago debating what a monkey nut was. Was it the same as a peanut, or was it something else, or was it the same as what's the other thing? I don't know. M&M's. I don't know. Never got anywhere with it. but it doesn't stop me talking about monkey nuts, because you don't flush the baby out with the bath water. Oh no, you couldn't through your standard bath, especially not the type you put a baby in, because that would usually be like a basin you have on the floor. But no, even your standard bath, the plug hole would not be big enough for that. You can't flush a bath anyway. It doesn't have a flushing mechanism. Just a water outlet. It's rather small. It usually has a protective grate in it, so you can't even let anything small accidentally slide through it. No. If you want to flush something, flush it down the toilet. If you want to flush a baby down anything, hand yourself into the local authorities, or go to your psychiatric medical care expert before you do anyone any harm, please. Anyway, monkey nuts, that's what they call them. They call them big, steaming, shit-eating, piss-poiling, harmonica-playing, vitamin-rattling. Well, you rattle a different vitamin this time, you will. Here's a multivitamins and iron, this time an open bottle. It's been on the go for a while, although there's still a few left, because I think I emptied 2 bottles into one. These bottles they sell in they come half full. You can open up a second bottle and pour it into the first bottle, and there's still empty space in it. You can get 4 months worth of vitamins into a 2-month bottle. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous, although also quite convenient, as long as you don't mind having the extra crap to carry home from the shop. Although I suppose you could do your rearranging of the bottles before you leave the shop. Well, people give you funny looks when you do that in the shop. If you start opening up vitamin bottles and pouring them into each other, no, they'll say, what's that fella doing? He's clearly up to no good. Because anyone who's doing anything out of the ordinary is assumed to be up to no good. They'll send round some security fella. They'll say, oh, this fella's clearly a terrorist. He's a terrorist. He's rattling this thing like it's some sort of grenade or something. Do grenades rattle? I don't know. I know usually if you got a sniper gun, they usually have some sort of a silencer on it. But do grenades have a silencer on it? Probably not, because once you throw the grenade, all shit is going to hit the fan anyway. There's no way of subtly doing it, even if it's silenced. People are going to notice if you throw a grenade at someone. So no, there's no point trying to be subtle with a grenade. Not that it does. Maybe people try, I don't know. So they try and be quiet for their first few grenades, and know eventually they're going to get caught, but they'll try and get 5 or 6 grenades in quietly before people start to figure out where they're coming from. And then, of course, they're going to get caught eventually. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can launch a series of grenades at someone without getting noticed. Not unless you're a member of some elite I don't know, army force who go in after Saddam Hussein, and even they got noticed eventually. Not Saddam Hussein, the other fella, Borat. No, your man with the terrorist thing. You know the fella who they found living in the back of some beyond somewhere. They went in and raided his place and shot him dead while he was watching television or something, and then they came out. Bin Laden, that's the fella. Oh no, he didn't just silently get away with that. He had to come out and say, by the way, we shot Bin Laden. If anyone's wondering where he is, we got him and we put him in the sea. They knew damn well you couldn't just quietly do that in the middle of the night and have no one find out. What's the point? Be the point anyway. If you're going to do something like that, you want people to know about it. You want the world to know. Just like when you have happy news, you want the world to know. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in having happiness if you can't experience it and share it and boast about it? Have you boast to everyone about how happy you are about the fellow whose face you blew off? No, it's no enjoyment to be have about just keeping it to yourself. That's why murderers are rarely happy unless they're caught, in which case they're not happy anyway because they go to jail. They're not going to be happy sitting in some jail somewhere because people rarely give you credit. Even if you let everyone find out the good news about the fact that you successfully got to your dream of murdering someone, you'll rarely find anyone as willing to celebrate it with you. Oh no, they look down on you. They look down at you through their nose like a pile of snobs. Understandably, really. You can't be condoning murder, no matter how much you might enjoy it or think you enjoy it. You can't be going around murdering people. Get that into your thick skulls. It's antisocial. So yeah, of course it's antisocial. Once you murder at least one person, there's one person less left in the room for you to socialize socialise with, so obviously it's antisocial. Into Your Head says no to murder. I don't actively go out and campaign against it, but if you were to ask me my official view on the matter, I'd say no, I'm against it rather than for it. But in practice, I'm neutral because I don't actively do anything about it. Oh no. Anyway, good morning.
You've been listening to Neal tell you stories. About cats, probably. Neal talks a lot about cats. Send your topic suggestions to studio@intoyourhead.com.
Into your